Good evening, I'm Jonathan. This is an FTN News special report, live from our, where were we? A newsroom. We're live from our new newsroom as today's events have rendered our previous newsroom completely obsolete. If you may not, as you may have heard by now, NUSA has been transferred to new owners. The shock announcement was made earlier Wednesday afternoon by Paul JKL, who said near 3 o'clock, quote, after careful planning and upon considerate deliberation, I have agreed to transfer ownership to Belarus and Ukrainian, who shall be the successor as the group co-owners. They have demonstrated their commitment to the creation of the continuation of this group and have dedicated a detailed roadmap for the future of NUSA. Boulder County and its corresponding games will also be permanently discontinued as part of our family of games and will no longer be available after the transfer of ownership. All groups in the group are now under the holding name of American Online, and FTN News is now, and Great Jakers 1113 is telling FTN News via a what do we call it? Sorry about that. Via a VC that the community is now under an LLC. It was actually quite surprising. I didn't know that was happening. With the move, Paul JKL has now moved on to Ridgeway, who earlier today, a squarehead dude announced, as quote, after a long time apart, almost 2 years now, I'm happy to announce the original developer oversight team will be working alongside each other on the state of Ridgeway. And it said that the Ridgeway game will be back in a couple of days. The move has created quite a considerate change to the group as we know it. A detailed roadmap by the new group management lays out a new outline for the future operations of this group. GM entities will be restructured to streamline operations and government support. Investments will be made into development projects for DC, as well as advertisements and partnerships with other communities. All group activities will be centralized in DC. Government agencies will be restructured to provide a fun and enjoyable experience for all ages. His community guidelines will be revived, and previous administrative actions in the matter that will remove most bans and blacklists, depending on severity. For example, baseless pedophilic allegations have largely been removed, leading to return of members such as top_FR. And there will be a financial allotment to the federal government for budgets, and roadmaps for major group events and developmental milestones will be created to create transparency and build hype. Ukrainian Delus, along with Goredos, Trickle Josh Miller, Remy Larax, Paul will all join the group management team with 2 more slots available. Ukrainian Delus and Goredos have become senior group managers. Grego Kian will be the Trust and Safety Group Manager, which will include the FEC and Moderation Services. Josh Miller will be the Legal Affairs Group Manager and assist the FEC and Moderation Services on a case-by-case basis for high-risk cases. Remy Larock will be the Government Liaison Group Manager. DePaul will be staying on as the National Elections Administrator, operating under the jurisdiction of the NUSA Trust and Safety Department, all but confirming that he will not lead the community as originally planned. Vacant group management positions are available for Public Outreach Group Manager and Development Group Manager, which they say will be likely chosen from within the community. They also said that the next election will probably happen by mid-February, depending on, quote, assets during the transition, which is subject to change. This will include the modernization of the current version of DC, and Boulder will become a separate entity. Current laws will now be focused on the U.S. All laws except for the U.S. Constitution and U.S. Code will be wiped, and the group will revert to the Tim Geithner Constitution. And political parties will make its return, provided they meet the requirements set forth by the FEC. And FLEXI, the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center, will be disbanded, meaning that operation for police officers will now be reverted head back to pre-Boulder, what do you call it? Pre-Boulder activities. Yeah, they said.
Yeah, I would say that.
And they said that they were interested in the group because, quote, we spent years of our lives dedicated to seeing this group succeed and expect to see this fully. And they will hold a group vote and have a say before they commit to anything, such as revamping Las Vegas or reviving New York City. Municipal departments, such as the Metropolitan Police Department and the DC Fire Department and City Council, will be brought back depending on activity. A historic day indeed, and joining me now is Great Jakers 1113. Good evening. I can imagine this was quite a historic day. There have been rumors spreading around, and I guess now it's been confirmed. What are your initial reaction?
I'm gonna be honest. I thought these rumors were. I doubted these rumors. I thought they would be false, despite all the allegations I've heard. And then I just opened my computer and I see Noosa sold.
Go ahead.
And I see Noosa sold. I was shocked. I wasn't mad. I was just surprised that Paul didn't seem like the type of person to sell it. One of the more surprising factors of this.
What do you mean?
I didn't think Paul would sell. I feel like, knowing his type of personality, knowing his personality a bit, I did not think he would sell.
What I think I'm most surprised about is that he's not leaving Roblox entirely. He's going back to Ridgeway. The gang is essentially all back together, and they're going to focus on Ridgeway exclusively. What will be brought from Boulder? We do not know.
I think everything that is in Boulder will be brought to Ridgeway. This is a win. I'm gonna be honest. This is a win-win for both communities. At this point, I'm gonna be honest. What happened with Ridgeway was incredibly sad and disappointing, and
Who knew? I guess this was a great compromise. They can now focus on this on what do you call it? The Rose State roleplay experience stuff now that they've been trying to push.
Also in Row Nations, this is a historic moment. You know, Noosa is one of the biggest Row Nations out there, and
it is the oldest. Sir, it is the oldest currently surviving USA in Roblox, and one of the largest, if not the largest, USA group in Roblox.
I mean,
at a time in which. What? Go ahead.
And I mean, this is a historic moment.
It is, and
we are now on the third owner of Noosa, which is Ukrainian.
And Belarus. If you haven't remembered, back in 2017, the founder of Noosa, Knight Gallagher, it transferred ownership to Paul JKL after he accepted an internship at Roblox. Not sure where he is now, but hopefully he's enjoying life.
I think
so. It
is doing good.
Yes, we hope he's doing good. With that, there have been some changes to some of the group's operations, including with the district court. Chief Justice what am I doing? Chief Judge John Doom said in a statement, if I can pull it up, where is it?
You wrote the statement, my man.
That quote, I wish, on behalf of the entire district court, I wish to reassure the public that none of us have any intention of stepping down from our roles and remain in our positions in administering justice as we've done previously. In a later statement, the Chief Justice said, quote, after careful consideration, a decision has been made to issue a mass dismissal of all criminal cases and expungement currently being considered or pending in the U.S. District Courts. Civil cases will be assessed on a case-by-case basis, and where possible, we will still attempt to find a remedy for any cases where damages are sufficient. He also said that those in the civil cases should contact their assigned judge for the next steps. And for the record, I did not write that statement. It was ghostwritten by someone else.
And we have... So, Of course, group management released a roadmap. I'm gonna hold on. Let me pull up that roadmap, and we're gonna
I
go
just
over.
read it.
Well, we're gonna
The
go over a few
tryout
stuff.
chat room has just came back. We are truly regressing back to the good era of Noosa.
What chat room?
The tryout chat room.
Oh, we are. We are so back. We are so back.
Indeed, we are.
Um, of course, we have just gotten a DC update.
Which is fairly minor. Just removing the Ridgeway mods and adding the new mods. Of course, there are some people who've said, this should have been the focus all the time. Instead of making a row state game, why not just revitalize DC and modernize it a bit? And I will go on record to ask if I'm not going to say we should get the building, the RBX NBC building,
We should get
but
the
rather
RBX.
modify it
We should get the RBX
so that
NBC building.
every
News
I'm
org.
trying to say that we should get that all the news orgs that are currently registered with DoCal and those in the future can get like a new one, like one joint one to use.
Build a new DC media
I can
center.
moderate. Yeah,
Make it near the.
like it's
Make
not
it near.
restricted.
So.
Continue. Um,
Boulder County being split.
that is something crazy to say the least.
So they are banned. So the bans, including for the bans including people being unbanned, they're unbanning people for exploiting, glitching, arrest logging, name calling, or toxicity. I feel like
It honestly depends.
I do feel like a lot of people here should be unbanned, but I think we got to be careful with who we unban. Now that I'm looking at this, political parties are making a return, obviously, as you already discussed.
That is something I'm actually excited to see. As a judge, I can't really go into specifics, but I am excited to see toxicity come back.
I am not excited to see cock toxicity come back. Mod applications are open. I do want to address something yesterday that happened.
Go ahead.
Yesterday, before all these shenanigans occurred, which Paul JKL did show off a new DC map, which I have no clue if it will end up being used, considering recent circumstances. But I do feel as if it's still a worthy discussion topic. I can just pull.
I don't know. That's gonna. I don't think that's gonna even be used.
It is still They still, but then again, they did probably the rights to the group did include that. Here are the images. The images should be on your screen right now.
Be on your
Should be seeing the images of that planned planned DC
It's
remake.
rather interesting. It looks like maybe they should just update the not the buildings, but like the surroundings, like new trees and everything to make it. It looks like it's a retro 2018 2020 reboot. You know what I'm saying?
And I personally do like the style. That Capitol building is also the Capitol that we used in the Senate building in the Senate for a bit.
True.
And I mean, when you look at this, you see that I was surprised considering about this, especially what went down yesterday. Paul was rather engaged yesterday. More engaged than I would say he normally is.
True.
He also gave a few players a tour. He also gave some players a tour of a unreleased Noosa map.
Which could work if you just remove all the buildings and replace them with newer ones.
That map being San Francisco, I was happy to be a part of that. That photo was taken atop the Golden Gate Bridge, if you're wondering.
Indeed.
Yeah, it was a fun time. It was a fun time for sure, and and I feel like Paul's gonna be doing good in Ridgeway. How do you think? What do you think is happening going forward? How do you think this will affect? What do we do going forward? Hold on, we got a new post in government updates.
Yes,
Oh,
is it? No,
it's a nothing burger. Okay.
it was deleted.
Second time.
Not sure what they're trying to lead.
There is a lot of change happening in the coming days. One thing I want to discuss is how
really.
this affects local government.
I don't know.
Boulder County, everything related to Boulder County has become DC.
Indeed.
I wonder how this will affect agencies. Of course, Alex Rain has been named the interim mayor of DC until a time when DC elections can take place. Mason Rockefeller will serve as the chief. Mason Rockefeller will serve as the chief of the Metropolitan Police Department, with the BCSO sheriff as his deputy and the CPD chief as his assistant chief. All police department staffs will merge into MPD entirely, and will go through the appropriate staff with their ranks shifted. That means Alex and Poseidon has become EMS chief. Infinite One, who serves as the Boulder Fire Department chief, but now sits as a member of group staff. Peep Fans will be the new DC Fire chief. So, it's starting to look like we're kind of getting back to where we were pre-Ridgeway.
Indeed.
We have 2 new posts in department recruiting at.
Mhm.
Hold on. The diplomatic. If you're looking for job openings now, diplomatic security services is recruiting once again. Oh, thank you from America, from American Online, giving us a shout out. John, I'm gonna hand it over to you since I don't have much to say.
Where? I don't see
Community
anything.
news, community news.
Wow. Um, I don't really have much to say on this. I guess I'm running out of words to say.
We're gonna take a.
Well,
I think we take a short break and we try to get some panelists.
if you want, we will be right back. This is FTN. We're back and we're ready to attack. This is FTN, and if you're just joining us, the big story: NUSA is no longer under Paul JKL's ownership. A group now of 2 people now owns it, and they're planning apparently serious reforms that will impact each and every one of us. Just want to do some housekeeping regarding everything. We no longer have our Boulder studios, so we moved over to these temporary ones in New York, while our Rock River studios is currently being rebuilt. In a way, we're rebuilding it completely. Hope to see something soon, but we rather much prefer like an actual in-game place to do it, but we don't have that. Um, and in regards to the backdrops, we're going to be changing them soon. We haven't had time to change them. What else? There were some other housekeeping notes I wanted to go over. Jake, you heard anything about the Senate? Robbie Beef Pro 90,000, the vice president and president of the Senate, said, quote, "The Senate is currently extremely understaffed. I will post an update later with information." I do not know what he means by that. Yeah, because elections won't be for a while. Hmm. It really, it really does show something. Like a couple, like a day, 24 hours ago, we were thinking that Newsom was on his deathbed. Nothing was ever going to be done, and this group was going to be shut down for good. Now there's like a, it is a cycle, and it never ends. Now it's alive. We're not doing a break. This is the end of the broadcast. We are going to. Okay, just what do we want to do? No, I'm gonna have to do something for my school in a minute. So good night. We'll see you back here tomorrow.